Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Welcome to the What the Heck Do You Need to Know reading for this month. I am going to use Madame Endora's fortune cards. I have to say sometimes the messages are a little tough, so hang in there with me because I do have clarifiers so I can get to them a little easier and understand some of the stuff that goes on. So we're going to use the 9-card spread. I want to encourage you to make sure to leave a comment on the video so you could be in the drawing for the monthly random video that well, actually not a video. I'll probably, if possible, we can do it on Zoom, but the reading that I will do for you, if you can't do it that way, then I will do one on video for you. So you have to leave a comment though, because I have no other way of contacting you to say, hey, you won. So your cards are taking a little while here. So what's going on here? I did the September reading. If you did not have a chance to see it, I will link it here at the end of the video. And then next week, the second half of that, the mid-month part, will come out. And so be on the lookout for that. So this little card has shown up in nearly every reading, and I am about halfway through. So let's see what we have going on here. This one is about, to me, it's about magic. It's the Raven. To me, that is about the magic that comes from when you are willing to do the deep dive inside, to go in, to get to the heart of the matter. Because you got the skull here, right? It's when you're willing to get to, really let something decompose, really go to the base part of it. What was the original structure that created a situation? And that's how we figure out what changes we want to make and how we're going to manage them. And it is darkness looms on the horizon. And in a way for you, I kind of think it's that in the middle of October, Pluto stations direct, and he's headed back your direction, right? So he's like, darkness looms on the horizon. Pluto is going to have you over the next couple of decades, not just you, because he really works with a generation, right? So he's generational energy, but because you have Aquarius and strong in Sun, Moon, or Rising, or you wouldn't be watching this most likely. Globally, definitely major renovations happening, but inside of your life too, you're going to notice them, right? And so first there's the decomposition, right? The breaking down of something before you get to when you just have the skull, and then that's the structure from which you can create to bring something new in. So I have a hummingbird that literally just flew up to the window and was looking in. So a hummingbird is about getting into your heart space. They beat 55 beats per minute, the same as your heart. This is high vibrational, high frequency energy that is coming in to support your reading. So I'm really excited for you that you got that. Okay, so here we go. So this is something that's going to be happening. And it's something to be aware of. We have the South Node in a sign that trines yours, and so it's going to also assist you as Pluto moves into your sign to make it a little easier. It's almost like putting a little WD-40 on that rusty bolt so that you can loosen it up, so you can get it off of there, so you can do whatever you're trying to change out, but you'll probably put a new bolt on, right? You wouldn't put the rusty one back on. And so there's some opportunity here for a big shift and a big change. And this big shift and this big change is going to require kind of like Seven of Swords energy. Thinking smarter with strategy. It's like smarter, not harder. It's more subtle. So in the Rider-Waite traditional Seven of Swords, the guy is running away with some of the swords so that when the battle comes the next day, the opponent has less swords to fight with. It puts them at a disadvantage, right? This isn't the outright attack. This isn't the big gleam. This is figuring out how can I maneuver things in a way that creates that ease, right? That's the WD-40 again. So you have the serpent here, which is about transformation, right? And it's also about wisdom and knowledge, though. And it also could be physical healing, right? And it says a sly and subtle approach is needed. So whatever is going on in your life that is going through a transition, and again, this card here really looks like transition to me. I haven't read it yet. I've never seen that one before. Oh, it's a butterfly and all that fall colors. Ah. Okay, I want to finish the statement. In matters of the health, because of the green, or whatever you're trying to transform in your life, you need more knowledge. You need a strategy. You need a better way to do it. Because I feel like whatever you're trying to do at this moment is not the right approach. Okay? Because in the heart space here, the thing that's draining your energy, we have the fire. And so, full on, full frontal attack, all fired up and angry isn't working. But here it says a sly and subtle approach is needed. And then when I look at this card, which also carries kind of that fiery energy, I thought it was a butterfly, but it looks more almost like a moth. It's a root chakra, so it's something that makes you feel safe and secure. It's about a security issue, so it could be around finances. It could be anything that makes you really feel out of sync. So it could be a job situation. Maybe you don't like the way the coworkers or the boss are acting. You feel like people are talking behind your back, and approaching them directly is not going to work, right? If people at work are trash talking you and making you look bad to the boss, or stealing your ideas, then what you have to do is not go and confront them and say, oh, you stole my idea, right? Or you're talking crap about me. What you do is you make an appointment with the boss and you present your ideas and then you ask the boss, do you have any suggestions? Because nothing people like more than you asking them for their advice. When you leave a conversation and the other person got to tell you everything about themselves, they think it was a good conversation. So this is about listening, it is about meeting the needs of someone else in order to get what you want. So maybe what your boss or your partner, doesn't feel like relationship. This feels business. This feels out there somewhere. It does not feel within. It doesn't feel like a relationship. So I could be wrong. But when the story and how it's being presented is up here, what you're trying to figure out, it also calls for a subtle approach. We have the minstrel. So this is, the minstrel used to travel from town to town and get all the gossip and the information. And then as he's traveling to the next one, he'd work up a song about it and he'd go and entertain. And people were listening to what he had to say because he was providing an entertaining way, and that was, and then they'd feed him or they'd give him some money and they'd give him the gossip and he'd be on his way to the next town. And so he was basically, broadcast journalism, right? And so that was how that worked, right? And this is up here. I think you need to present something in a way. I think you know that because it says, let your intentions be known. Right? And so there is a way, though, but you want to let your intentions, you want to throw your hat in the ring for that promotion, you want to get a job transfer to another part of the company, you want whatever it is. It feels like it's around business. If you are seeking to purchase a home, there's kind of a shortage of homes, right? Which means that you need a different approach to have your ideas stand out. If you're applying for a job, what can you do to go and you do the research on the company and what is the company's values? What do they state are the values and how can you highlight that in your cover letter, right? And so it is something about the way you are putting your information out there in a way that makes it easy. It's the WD-40 again. It's the thing that lubes the situation, that allows it to glide easier, for things to smoothly move into place for you, because something currently is not working. And that is a rejection, is your protection. So if you are applying for a position or there's something like that and you keep getting blocked and stopped, it's because there's something much better for you that's not a good fit. I'll give you a really quick, for instance. I was looking for an apartment a couple of years ago when I landed here. There was a place that was the perfect location. It was in between. It was really close to all my clients. It was really close to where my storage unit is. because I keep all my cleaning supplies there. There's just like all these things are, and I mean, and it was a really nice, it had front windows and back windows that opened onto a courtyard. There was a parking lot where I could park my car. You could have cross breeze, and the courtyard there was trees, and it was really nice little shaded community energy, and I really liked it. And as I'm walking through the apartment with the manager, who would be living underneath me, and we're getting along great. I mean, we really are. I'm talking about my moon directed and everything, and we're having a great conversation. All of a sudden, she goes, "No, you can't jump rope up here." Literally, that is not something I would ask. It never occurred to me. And then she started hiding from me. She would close the office if she saw me coming. She wouldn't respond to my emails. She wouldn't respond. She buried my application, which is completely illegal. And I could have pursued it, but it was a door that was closed that I thought, okay, it's not where I'm supposed to be. It really broke my heart because I really think it's where I'm supposed to be, right? And I ended up here, and I know why I'm here now. And I actually wanted another apartment in this complex, and 7 days before I was supposed to move in, they're like, oh, they're going to stay there. Well, you know, that building caught on fire a couple months later, so I wasn't supposed to be there either, right? And so rejection is protection. And I ended up in a place that I like everybody in my building. There's a really good community happening here, and I like the town I landed in, which was not on my radar. And so I just want to suggest to you very strongly that when you think it's perfect for you, or you really want this thing, but you keep hitting the wall, there's a reason for it. And if you will just say, okay, not this way, let me take a higher vantage point, right? You're really good at that. Let me step back and get a bigger picture and see what else might work. What is another direction? What is another approach? What is another opportunity? Because there is one. Because this one isn't it. Because this card is called hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. So there is something that you really thought was the thing, and you can see that you feel like you're running out of time. Because in the heart space, we got the time is of essence card here. But the thing is that you really want isn't the thing that is in your best and highest good. And so you have options here. You have options to see it for what it is. The key to the situation, you have the shield. You are safe and protected. So if you can really trust that the blocks and the stops that are happening, my apartment didn't catch on fire. Oh, and that apartment building the apartment I wanted to live in, a couple storms ago, they had a big old tree land on it. Like, okay. So honestly, there are reasons things happen the way they do. If you can accept the block as protection and just redirect. And it's harder when you're a fixed sign. And it's hard when you are as analytical as you are, because you think you've already gamed it all out and you could see it all. But there's something that is unknown, that is hidden, that you can't see, right? Darkness looms on the horizon. There is some hidden factor you can't see. There's something unknown to you that you are being safe and protected and redirected around. And so trusting that path, that's what you need to know, is trusting that what is blocked is because there's some reason, and you don't need to know what it is right now, but you may or may not find out later what, but there's a reason you are not there. You should move in a different direction. And so this sly and subtle approach that you take to transform a situation, I do think there's two things here, right? If you really want something, try changing your approach. If it doesn't work out, use this gentler approach in another direction, because I think it lands you what you want. Because here we have a temptation may lead you astray. So there is something that you really desire. And it, if it's a relationship or I don't know, but there's something you really want. And it's trying to lead you in the wrong direction. But I feel like with this card right here and the shield card right here, that whatever it is that you think you really want and you go for it, you're going to get blocked. Because Spirit's like, not that. try over here. Look for the flashing neon sign, the big old arrow that says, this way, right? That's what it feels like. Okay. The obstacle. This is your perception, I think. It says honor and good luck. I think you're like, oh my gosh, nothing's working for me. I feel like you should say, oh my gosh, everything is working for me. I can't go there, so that must be the wrong way. I think that'll totally change how you feel about it, which how you feel about it changes your perception, which then allows yourself to be in a higher frequency, which then allows you to draw and attract to you higher frequency opportunities. And so this comes down to your ability to trust the universe. Trust the universe has got your back. In the area of resources, we have the spider. So there is an opportunity that is being created. It says, be meticulous and patient. And so even though you are feeling like time is of the essence, ooh, look how that spider kind of looks like an hourglass. Even though you think that time is of the essence, I think it's more important to realize that there is a divine timing aspect at play. And the thing, the opportunity, whatever this thing is that you are trying so hard to get, the thing that you want, Rick, this says reckless actions lead to conflict. Like there is a need to just pour some patience on the situation and to try a subtler, gentler approach to things and to yourself. And so maybe you really thought you wanted to move or make this job change or whatever it was this month or this year. And it may be that it takes a little longer just so things can fall into the best possible place for you. You got a lot of advice coming here. Ooh, you got a little butterfly of transformation happening there. It's like a sparrow. Oh, you have 4. You have the phoenix rising from the ashes and a gateway. Okay, this one says sacred space. To use beautiful art, music, and creativity and all kinds to put you into a sacred space. This guy is singing. This is being creative in your approach. Like first off, with the moons and working with them, create a sacred space to sit and do your moon intentions. But I feel like this has more to do with this communication thing here because of the word music and this guy being the minstrel. Be creative in how you approach, make your intentions known for what it is that you are seeking to bring and draw and attract into your life. This says recycle. Learn from the past and apply it to creating your vision for the future. So a spider, in every evening, will go out and do the repair. It will take apart parts of the web, and unless a big storm's coming, they will sometimes change the whole web. But usually they will recycle parts of it, they will create it, and they will, fix it up. So also recycling from the past and applying to creating your vision of the future makes me feel like there's something that you already know how to do that might be a little rusty. It needs a little retooling in order to be packaged up in a way that puts you in the right direction. So I feel like because this is in the area of resources, and all the planets are retrograde right now, basically. Venus just stationed direct yesterday, but today Jupiter stationed retrograde, which only leaves Mars moving forward in Libra and Venus getting ready to start her engine. She's starting her engine. She's warming up the car. So on the 15th, Mercury stations direct. And actually the last week of this month, I'm going to take a look at this energy of these planets, these personal planets all moving forward. Well, every outer planet is moving in retrograde. And about how we can use this energy. And so there's a repackaging of something, skills, knowledge, wisdom that you have that will allow you to access what you want, your vision, create the vision for the future that you have here Here we have let go. Okay, so there's a full moon coming up in Aries. There's also right here, I feel like it's let go of this idea that this is the perfect thing. Because there's something wrong with it. And I don't know what it is, but there's something that's wrong with it for you. It may not be wrong with it for somebody else, but something about it isn't what you actually think it is. Something about it, the darkness that looms, the unknown, the thing you don't know, and the magic is created by you trusting the universe and moving and flow with it. So let go. What, if anything, can be done to let go of what is standing in your way? You have this hindrance. And so fate has blocked the path. You can't stop fate. You can't do anything about that. So it is about your acceptance. Can you accept that that situation that you really thought was perfect for you, in some way or the other, is just something wrong with it? So we have the card of risk. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. The risk is trusting the universe. Sometimes it feels like such a risk, right? Especially when you're a fixed sign and you're so used to like doing all the analysis, knowing what everything is, making a plan, working the plan, right? Be aware that you be aware, or you will have to beware. Do not deny the risks and the hazards that you see. I'm going to get into the book and see what else they have with that one, because that is uncomfortable energy. So it's 35. That makes it an 8. 3 plus 5 is 8, which means it's about self-mastery. The risk card is an indication that what you are inquiring about involves a risk, either socially, professionally, or in rare cases, physically. If you do not see any risk laws or rules that must be followed regarding the situation in question, then you must look harder, because they are there. Social masks have made everyone a critic, so avoid subjecting your creative work and yourself to unwanted attention. Don't gamble. Be careful to use only supplies and techniques that have not been shown to adversely affect the health of people and pets. Make sure that your work does not use components copyrighted by another person. In the Kabbalah, plagiarism is equivalent of murder, because unattributed copying metaphysically kills the soul of the person who originated the work. You can choose to believe that or not. Make sure you are not risking having your work stolen, copied, or damaged in some way. Personally, I don't think you can kill a soul. That is not my belief, but you are entitled to yours. She's entitled to hers. I do think that that it does create negative cords of attachment that will have to be released at some point, or they weigh you down. I don't think it's healthy to do such a thing. I don't think it's healthy when people do it to us, right? But you can choose to release those cords. If someone's done such a thing to you, you can choose to release the cords. You can do a cord cutting. You can ask Archangel Michael to come in and just cut those cords, and you can release what you feel is that baggage, because you can't do anything about it. Sometimes just letting go allows you to fly higher, right? Like kind of like letting off the big sandbag on the hot air balloon. That's how you can get more height. And if you think of negative things that people do to us as sandbags, and they keep us from flying high and getting to enjoy the peaceful, rarefied air up there, then, you know, maybe we need to let that stuff go. Right, you have Seraphonite. I love that. I love that. And this one wants to come too. Wow, look at all these greens. This is heart chakra healing energy to start with. It's also manifesting energy, which is really fabulous. This new moon in Virgo is definitely about manifesting our dreams into our realities. So green tourmaline, abundance and prosperity are an infinite supply. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. Count your blessings. Believe in the abundance of the universe. What is not meant for you is being blocked here. But there's so much more that is meant for you that is so much better for you. Believe in unlimited wealth and success for all. Act philanthropically, whatever. Act generously. Realize that infinite supply available. Realize that there is an infinite supply available. Magnetize ethical, heart-centered business associates, right? I feel like this is what this card was saying with the risk. Like if there's something shady about that, you might be being protected from working with some really shady people in a really shady business. And so trust that you are being protected here. This really feels more around something financial than it does a personal relationship. That's how this reading feels to me. That's the energy I'm picking up off of it. And so, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's really what I'm getting. And so take a look at that. And then you have the Seraphonite, which is really about connecting in with your higher self, right? It is really connecting in and hearing the messages and trusting the guidance, right? My mind and spirit are connected with each other and the divine. And the divine. I like to make words. So, mind and spirit, right? You are analyzing things like crazy about a situation. That's cool. Create some space in there to receive downloads and insights from your higher self, because as much as you can see, they can see everything. They can see all of the opportunities and everything. And if we can just trust a little more that they're the ones that are saying, no, not that way, go this way. If you believe that it is your higher self that is leading you and guiding you energetically, when those big old blocks and stops come up and you get into this trusting relationship with your higher self and with the divine energy, life becomes a lot smoother. It really does. So remember the divine spark within, aspire toward enlightenment, increase mental clarity and intelligence, and improve telepathic communication skills. I feel like this, increased mental clarity and intelligence is unlikely a problem for Aquarius. I think what it is more about is you being willing to telepathically communicate with your higher self. I think it's the listening, and the listening happens in the heart space, and that's why it's this green chakra healing. It's about listening with that brain in your heart. There's 40,000 brain cells in your heart. Those are the ones that actually generate the emotions that create what your mind perceives as good or bad. So using your heart to analyze the situation is 40,000 times better. If you were to hook up your brain cell heart, the brain cells in your heart, with the brain on one thing and your brain cells on another thing to see which one has the greater magnetic electrical field, it's like 10 times greater. Is it 10 times or is it 100 times? The heart beats the crap out of the brain as far as its ability to generate an actual physical, measurable electrical wave. And so because that is true, and that is fact, that is science, you can look it up. I'm not sure. I think it's 10, it might be 100. It was a big number. It doesn't matter. It's way more either way. And so because of that, if we really connect in with our heart space and use that energy, how do I feel about a situation? A lot of times I think we do the pros and the cons, and we do the mental work, and then we narrow it down to just a couple things, and then we go, okay, how do I feel about this, and how do I feel about that? And maybe you're like, I really feel like this is right, but then you get all these blocks and stops. Try the other one. Just see what happens. All right? I'm wishing you guys a lot of luck. I'm on Facebook every day. Really get into astrology over there. When you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll know when I put out that success reading in a couple weeks. And next week, we'll do the second half of that Celtic Cross, where we really get into the rest of the month and the moons that are coming up and how they will affect you, and some superpowers to work with. I already recorded it. I just don't remember what it is. All right. I will see you guys soon. Take good care.